Hi Kimbark Coyotes, and welcome to Crazy Critters. This week I am at the Tonto National Forest in Arizona, and we are overlooking Roosevelt Lake, named for President Theodore Roosevelt. President Roosevelt is famous for many things, but one of his big concerns was the environment. He was a conservationist, and during his time in office, and by the time he left office in 1909, he had created 55 bird sanctuaries, 150 national parks, and many national monuments across the United States. Now check this out. This is a cliff dwelling that is still standing. I don't know much information about it yet, but I just wanted to kind of show you before we got closer. Look at that. Okay, it's estimated that these dwellings were built between the mid 1300s and the mid 1400s. So this place is 700 years old or so. Okay. Also, the people were a lot shorter than the average adult. Your 12-year-old or 13-year-old, that was more of the average height of the peoples that lived here. Look at you can see the holes for like lookouts, perhaps. You can see the areas here, the different levels of rooms. Look at the view. Imagine that. Wake up to that every day. Wow. Okay. And we're not quite sure what indigenous people lived here. They say the Salado people, so I'm going to have to look that up and see what that means exactly. But the ranger that I spoke with said that they're not quite sure because there were several different tribes of Native Americans that lived in this area. Let's take a look around at some of the building and design of this cliff dwelling. What's back in here, I wonder? Not sure. Maybe a little room? Maybe this is your timeout room, coyotes, if you weren't on your best behavior. Lots of rooms. You can see, looks like maybe they had, I don't know, just dark. Maybe it's, there's some area that has some stones that maybe were used for bowls.
Crushing grains, maybe?
Crushing grains, maybe, yeah. The peoples made caves and then took the rocks from the caves and from the surrounding area to build their dwellings. So you can see the surrounding area a little bit here, okay? And then they made mud and used it as glue or cement, and they must have done a spectacular job for it to last over 700 years. Here is a computer-generated image of what the dwellings may have originally looked like when inhabited by the native peoples. And we're not sure exactly why people left here. Current theories include drought in the 1450s, major floods of the Salt River, civil unrest, and even natural resource depletion. They weren't able to get the things that they needed to live. Although the indigenous people lived in this area hundreds of years ago, they were very much like we are in our communities today. They worked, they raised children, they took care of their property, chores, just like you have now, except they had just a tad bit more walking. We were way up there just a few minutes ago looking at that cliff dwelling. Think about the things that you do in your own community? How are you connected to your community? Well, that's it for this episode of Crazy Critters. I hope you're all able to get outside and have some adventures of your own. Please remember when you're out in nature to stay on the trails, be respectful of the plants and animals there, and pick up trash if you see it. Like this video, share it with your friends, and I'll see you next time.